Hi, it's Cassie again. I am just coming back on because I want to share what has been on my mind, thinking as far as those who have been newly disfellowshipped or newly leaving the organization, and the pain of rejection that comes with it, and that shunning. And I know for me that was a huge pain point after I was disfellowshipped, was facing that rejection from my community and the people who I grew up with, especially if you were born in, like I was. That's all you ever knew, was that community and that family that you had. And it was like night and day. After you're disfellowshipped, it's like they treat you like you don't exist. And I remember after I was disfellowshipped, I tried coming back. I was still like going to meetings after a couple months after I was disfellowshipped because I was wanted to come back. And it was awful because I remember walking into the Kingdom Hall and no one would even look at me or make eye contact with me, and it was awful. And you only know how that feels if you've experienced it before. And whatever your story is and whatever pain you're going through right now, I just want to validate it because it is real. And it's actually scientifically proven that when we face isolation, when we face exclusion and shunning, it actually shows up as pain in our brains and as like physical pain that we're going through, because it is. And as humans, we are social beings. We need each other to survive. And so when we are faced with that isolation and that shunning and rejection, it is very painful, and the pain is real. And it can activate in you the fight, flight, or freeze mode. And so that may be one reason. And I know for me, it was a reason why I kept trying to go back, was because I felt like I need to be accepted. I need to find my people. Like I need to go back. And I was riddled with guilt and shame. And I kept trying to go back. And then I became pregnant, and I stopped going soon after I was pregnant because I knew that the stress and the anxiety I was going through was bad for my baby. So I stopped going, and I feel like that is what saved me, because once I stopped going, my whole world opened up for me, because I started learning about what my mind had gone through and what my whole upbringing was, which was basically a lie. And it was really life-changing. I was like, what? I remember the moment where it was just a light bulb, like it felt like a puzzle piece clicking in, and just it felt like my whole world just turned upside down. But also everything started just opening up for me, and it felt very freeing. And knowing like, wow, like I don't have to live this kind of life anymore. And so this message is for you to validate your experience and your feelings that you are going through, and know that it will get better. You can get through this. You will get through this. And when you get through this, you're going to blast off. Like your whole life will open up for you, and you will experience freedom and love and joy, and you deserve all of that and more. You are deserving, and you have every right to a life of peace, love, and joy. and healing, and all of that and more is possible. And so I want to reassure you that you will get through this. You will. And leading up to that, that is something I talk about in my course, is how to heal that. And it starts with acceptance, needing to accept yourself, because when you accept yourself and love yourself just as you are, that coping mechanism of people pleasing and perfectionism that is hanging on, that will start to disintegrate, because you've surrounded yourself in love and acceptance of yourself. And that is so incredibly healing, and that is your superpower. And you can start doing that by using daily affirmations. You can start doing that by expressing yourself and loving who you are and owning who you are. Like, I am me. I'm gonna own that, and I love me. And when that starts to happen, you'll start to feel that shift, and that pain of that rejection, it will start to dissipate, and it won't hurt. It won't hurt anymore, because you know you got you, and that you love and accept you for who you are. So step number 1 of overcoming that pain of rejection that happens after the shunning is self-acceptance. So using affirmations to accept yourself just as you are, and validating your experience and your feelings that you are going through right now. Once you start accepting yourself, start expressing your authentic self, because I know that if you're raised in an organization just like I was, you were taught to suppress, and keep everything bottled up. Don't show your feelings, suppress your desires, and all that just gets stuck inside of you, and it comes out as anger because your authentic self is inside and you're trying to hide it. You're suppressing it, and you might feel angry or sad or numb or depressed because your authentic self is in there and you were taught to suppress it. And so, along with accepting yourself, express yourself. And that can come in many different forms. You can express yourself through movement. You can express yourself by the way you talk, the way you look. You can express yourself through your words, by writing, by art, by song. There's so many ways to express yourself. And I will tell you that the people-pleasing coping mechanism, that it didn't go away. Like, once I got out of the organization, that it was still hanging on, and I noticed it kept showing up in different aspects of my life. In like my relationships, like I'm trying to please other people, that way they'll accept me and they'll like me and I'll find my place in the world, and that is completely normal and natural. But it gets to a point where you suppress your authentic self just in order to be liked, and that's where it gets dangerous for you, because you're suppressing your authentic self and your light just to be accepted, when really that needs to go the other way around. You need to accept yourself and love yourself and let that light shine. Let your light shine. Your you shine. What makes you special? Let it all shine. Express yourself. And the people who are meant to stay around in your life, they will find you and you will find them. And if you express yourself and if you notice that someone starts rejecting you because of that, that is information for you to notice and to note and be like, they just rejected me when I shared my authentic self. I don't think that person is meant to stick around for long. And you will know the people who are meant for you when they love and accept you just as much as you love and accept yourself. So, to end this video, to recap, start with some words of affirmation. To start loving yourself and accepting yourself. And start expressing yourself. Start figuring out who you are, because who you are is inside of you. It's been there all along, and it's what's got you to this point. And you need to let your light shine. Let your authentic self play and be free. With that, I want to invite you just to do a check-in with yourself. And so, wherever you are, you can, if you're seated or standing, just go ahead, take this moment to ground yourself in the present moment. And you can soften your gaze, or you can close your eyes, and you can place one hand on your heart and the other over that hand, if that feels good for you. And let's take 3 collective breaths together. Inhale through your nose and exhale. Another deep breath in and let it out. One more. And let it out with a sigh. And I want to invite you to check in with yourself and how you are feeling. What are 2 words that come to mind for you? When you have your 2 words, go ahead and slowly open your eyes if they were closed, and share your 2 words with someone you love, or share them in the comments below how you are feeling. My 2 words were, I'm feeling excited and grateful. I'm really excited to share the tools and the strategies for healing, and that's something I talk about more deeply in my course. And I'm so grateful that you're here and watching this video, because you are meant to live a life of peace. You are meant to find healing, and it is so possible. That and so much more. And you are worthy and so deserving of it. So in the comments, share below your 2 words, how you are feeling. And if you are interested in really finding deep healing and really connecting to yourself and processing these emotions and these experiences that you've gone through in a way that is healing and kind to yourself, go ahead, comment below, I'm ready. Or go ahead, click the link in the description, and we will chat soon. Thank you so much.